Lovely, wonderful people. A pleasant afternoon to you. All right, I'm seeing something here. It says doctors welcome tax on sugary drinks. I want to feel the same way. With consumers set to pay at least $12 more for a $600 milliliter soda when the tax on sugary drinks takes effect. Takes effect. The island's doctors are declaring that the short-term pinch at the cash register could translate into long-term relief for the nation's overburdened health system. Yeah, yeah. The Medical Association of Jamaica, MAJ, says while it understands public unease about higher prices, the special consumption tax SCT on sugary drinks is a necessary intervention to confront Jamaica's growing non-communicable diseases NCD crisis. We understand and appreciate the anxiety that the prospect of increased taxation includes in the citizenry, especially for the poor and vulnerable in the society, the group of doctors said. We empathize with the parent who perceives that this tax will increase the pressure to find additional funds for lunch money for school, or that food intake will have to be decreased to match the fixed available funds, it added. But therein lies the paradox. It is precisely that behavior or mindset that we wish to change. And I'm with the doctors on that. That is the belief that somehow sugar sweetened beverages are essential components of the diet. It's not even the complex sugars, that you would get from fruits and so on. The MAJ argued that sugary drinks offer little, minute, if you want to use that word, nutritional value, but carry significant health risks. High sugar consumption, and particular from sodas, can alter children's taste preferences, making healthier options such as water less appealing naturally, because they're it's like it's in their muscle memory now that, boy, when I eat this I have to drink something sweet. And it affects their learning ability as well. And some of you are the same ones. A lot of the picking are dunce, but they may tough them dunce. But that creates and helps to compound the problems. How is it that you can think of? I understand that things are tough. It's rough, but it would be cheaper for you to put a bottle of water in the lunch pan, because they say it's so we're gonna go. Let us go with the argument of things being expensive. You have, the water. Why not buy even the WATA brand or so? You buy a case of that and you freeze it so that it is not, because as children, them can't manage room temperature water. So you freeze it, wrap it up in a maybe foil or something so that it doesn't, soak the lunch kitty and so forth. And you put it with whatever food that you give, a sandwich or whatever it is that you give the child. Break them in the habit of drinking water. Break them in the habit. So that is also cost efficient. So, we have to be careful of the excuses that we are bringing, And trust me, they will find some other sweets, because they have a sweet tooth at that age especially. So they'll find something sweet to get at some point or other. But break them in the habit of getting water. So it's not really an excuse to say it's the cheapest of all. Water is. Just buy the case of water, even if it's a small one. But break them in the habit of drinking water. It said the intake of sugary drinks has been associated with poor dental health, naturally, increased rates of obesity, yes, because I see some children, mighty God, wow. And what they don't understand is not a matter of people looking at you and they say your shape body look horrible, and the different things that they start to describe you looking like a gorilla, whale, all kind of different things, hug and whatnot. It's that far supersedes your health, far supersedes the name calling. I never forgot, years ago I was watching Dr. Phil, he had people who, it's not just obesity. I don't know what you would call that, because these are people who would weigh 700, 800, and 1,000 pounds, and they have to put you on cow scale, you know, the scales that they weigh cows and those large animals, because you would mash up a regular scale. Unfortunately, you can't weigh on and a regular scale goes up to maybe about 200 and something pounds. I don't know how far around it go, but that weight, they would mash it up. They would literally, you would just hear it just crack up and flatten out, because the weight supersedes the thing. So they have to put them on cow scale. That's so bad. The same, you know how big a cow, elephant, and those things are, you know? And I never forgot they had this lady on it, and she talked about she loved the food, and the man was slim as ever. And the sisters were pretending to support a sister until Dr. Phil, just because I think he's a psychologist as well by profession, I can't recall. But he was able to maneuver, probe, and let me tell you, that sister bawled and said she hates what her sister is doing to herself. She only was just pretending to support, you know. And Dr. Phil said, let me show you something. For those of you who go up to like 1,000, if you make it to 50, you're lucky. But you're not going past 50. And then when he began listing the diseases and sicknesses and illnesses, believe you me, I don't know if I could have eaten right after. I had to wait a long time before I could have eaten some food. I was sick to my stomach, because I said, my God, this is how dangerous fat is. Cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, you know, this. I mean, he was just listing, and I'm like, oh my God. And that's just a few I'm calling. Disease after disease, sickness after sickness, illness after illness, ailment after ailment. He was listing. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. Because this lady was eating like a whole chicken in just one sitting. And how many pancakes and how many things. And the fiance didn't want to lick too, because him slim like anything. And a feed her, both is what she likes. He didn't want 2 bucks upside him head. Back. You understand? But is what she likes. Tickling my nose. You understand? Yeah. So I don't think people understand the seriousness. You know? So I welcome the tax too on sugary drinks. You understand? Once in a blue moon, really should be drinking. And even some of the drinks that we consider, that we think may not have a lot of sugars and sodium, they do. May not be as high and carbonated like the sodas and so forth. You know? Right. So, you know, let me read back this again. It is said that the intake of sugary drinks has been associated with poor dental health. So sometimes you see the picking of them with they have rotten teeth already. Rotten teeth. And you know your mouth are going to smell bad. Increased rates of obesity in both children and adults, and higher incidences of NCDs, such as diabetes and certainly hypertension. These effects, the association noted, could be mitigated, reduced, that's what he means, by switching from sugar-sweetened beverages to water. Let me tell you something, people. I drink water, so I'll know this morning today I don't drink so much. You know? I'm start feel it already. It's like my body say, it's like it talks to me. So you know you need some water. You need your water. Me don't know how many ton water, yet how much water me drink. You know, and not just arbitrarily like that, you know, and so on. You know? Break your children into drinking water. If it is costly for you, trust me, the water, just like whatever you pay for the soda, either the same or maybe a little less you'll pay for the water. Whatever you pay for the soda is maybe the same or a little less you're going to pay for the water. Break your children into drinking water. Every now and again, obviously you can give them something sweet, because you have to have a balanced diet. But you give them preferably with the complex sugars, like in fruits, you know. I mean, every now and again, a picnic can eat a little sweet biscuit or so. Every now and again. It must not be their mainstay. It mustn't be a practice. It mustn't be a habit. It mustn't be ritualistic for them. That's why help dunce up the picnic them if you want, for lack of a better term right now. And develop all manner of illnesses and diseases. And them dead quick. And the cycle continues. We have to protect our children and even adults. We have to do better. All of us. Because sometimes you sit down and drink and eat the bad food too, you know. But We have to do better than that. Anyway, guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe, give me one of those lines, and you can follow me on Instagram.